All right, now we're on to market analysis. Market analysis is the other side of the coin, very related to target market. And so you might put these in the same section within the business plan, but the reason we covered target market first is because you have to understand customers before you can try to quantify how many of them there are that have the need you think they have. So your goal is to convince your audience who's reading your business plan of two things. First, that there are some number, so I put X there, there's some number of customers with a similar need, so that's why you have to do the target market steps first so that you really understand customer needs. And then the second, that they will buy your solution. Okay, so you have to convince the reader that you know what the customers want, they're going to prefer your solution, and you'll be able to sell to them. So coming back to what I taught you about Toulmin's model of argument, your claim is that you have, let's say there's 20,000 customers with a similar need, and then you have to give reasons that have some logic of why they will buy your product, and evidence that supports those reasons. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but that's your goal for this market analysis section of the business plan. When we get to this section, it's often exciting to give big numbers. Now, the reason that we care about the size of the market is because you have to see if it's worth your time. So obviously, a lot of times people throw out really big numbers, and they say how big of a market there is for a product that's even close to related. In our business plan, I'm going to not have you focus on the total available market, which is any comparable type product out there. I'm going to have you focus first on the served available market. So this is how big could your slice of the pie be. So that's how many people could use your product, how many have the money to buy, and then you're going to quantify that in numbers of dollars or units or people. And so you're going to understand that better if you talk to people to understand potential customers. So how do you do this? How do you figure out how big of a pie it is? Well, you have to be able to somehow separate potential customers into kind of like buckets. So you need to have some characteristics that define people that are in this bucket versus that bucket. So it has to be something that you can define, something that's meaningful. Hopefully you're getting something that's sizable, so you're not focusing too narrowly, although you do want to understand specific people better, and then some group that you can actually reach. And the way you are able to do that is you can go to secondary data, and if you can understand potential customers and have some definable, measurable characteristics about those customers, you can see other people that are like that from databases. And we're going to have the librarian talk a little bit about that. I have a couple links here to Steve Blank's tools. If you go to steveblank.com, he has some tools for entrepreneurs. And I'd like you to watch this video from Shark Tank. You should be able to link to it. This is the video that I would like you to see. So if the link doesn't work, you can just go to Madness Moment 816 Shark Tank and just watch that video. It's just 2 minutes long. The reason I want you to watch this video is because it illustrates what happens if we try to do market analysis and we don't actually do if you don't actually understand who your customer is. So watch that video, and then we'll come back. Okay, so from that video you could see that she didn't really understand her customers, and therefore all the numbers that she threw out, she had a bunch of numbers that she got from databases, but they weren't really meaningful, and they didn't convince the judges that there was actually a problem.